Welcome to my channel. My name is Cynthia. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it very much that you could be anywhere on YouTube and you're here catching this reading. So I really want to state my appreciation for that and remember the good, because I've been kind of on one in my moods the last couple weeks, and I'm just going to tell you, menopause is no joke, right? Everything feels like it's rocking my world. My body's changing. My moods are all chaotic. Going through this time where I'm about to totally turn my life on its ear and be in a completely different and new situation that I don't even know what it is yet. So it's been a lot, and I wasn't going to do a reading today because I just have been feeling out of sorts. But usually when I feel like that, doing a reading helps me. So I'm going to just go with that and trust that. My last reading, I was a grouch and it picked up quite a bit. And so I don't want to attend to that energy so much, although acknowledging it is part of what makes us human, right? We're not machines. We have moods and stress and things that trip us out, especially in the modern world with fascism on the rise and whatnot. So I just want to thank you for being here, sending you out there some nice Reiki healing. I hope you can feel that coming your way. There's even a way that you can put sort of the Reiki symbols on your fingertips and go like this. And so let me just do that for you also and help you clear away any stress in your aura, right, that you might need help with. And then I'll just go ahead and get us started on a general reading. I also wanted to show this off too. It's not going to come through very clearly from this far away, but it's this beautiful commemorative coin that I got. I went and volunteered with the Forest Service out on the coast. They have an arboretum out there, which is like a place for trees, basically, of different varieties. And they needed help clearing out invasive plants. And where I live, there's a ton of invasive plants. And this is an hour away on the coast, but still, they're all the same invasive plants there that there are here. And it was a nice way to just go out and give back to the planet and connect with other people who care about that still in the face of all these chaotic times. And it was just this nice thing at the very end. None of us were expecting it. It's this really solid coin, right? Like commemorative coin for the Department of Forestry. And so it just was a nice little token that they gave us as a thank you. So anyways, I just wanted to share that. Stuff to be positive about, right? Not just things to focus on that are aggravating and frustrating. Where I live has not been very secure, and I've been just kind of biding my time until I get out of here. And one of the recent things that happened, I've been experiencing off and on, that sometimes there will be people in my home, right? And without my consent. And so I have to just do what I can about it. I'm not going to live in paranoia and fear and go out and get multiple lock changes and get a new door and all, I'm just going to move on. But one of the things that recently came up missing was a pair of my grandmother and my aunt's, one of the two, pearl studs that they wore. But the interesting thing is, as upsetting as that was and as angry and kind of violated I felt, the funny thing is that the joke is on them, because I had two pairs of these. My grandmother had two pairs, either because she really liked pearl studs or because at one point she thought maybe she would lose one, so she had a spare pair in case one of the studs were lost. So the missing pair, I've literally looked everywhere for them. There is no other place they could be. They were taken out of here. So I'm not a big cop caller, so it's not like it just makes me sound crazy. No, nothing else is missing but this one pair of stud earrings. It's like, well, I'm not going to take it to that level, but I'm taking note and I'm getting ready to move. It's just stuff I need to bide my time with. But it's like, you fool, I have an exact pair. So go knock yourself out with your stolen pair of pearl earrings, I guess, right? It's just kind of ridiculous. And If you know, you know. If you've been through something like this where you feel like someone's trying to gaslight you or get you thinking you're crazy, it's like, it's that kind of stuff that is in play. And I'm not going to indulge it. I'm not going to go get all up in arms and go confront people. It's like, no, I'm just going to acknowledge that this is going on and I'm moving away and I'm not going to retaliate and I'm not going to do, you know, it's like, I'm just over it. I'm over navigating these weird fucking politics, right, where I live. So anyways, I've got my triumphant other pair of studs on because the missing pair that literally, I live in a very tiny place. There's only so many places this pair of earrings could be and they're not in here. And I know exactly where they were and they're gone. So it's like, okay, well, here you go. I'll just put in my other pair, my spare of these. Sending love out there to you. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I hope you're feeling safe in your home and loved and cared for. And let me send out love and care to you as well, in addition to who might be sending you that in your everyday waking life, right? What's something that we need to know in this collective? Something that we need to know. Better days coming with the Sun card here. Ooh, this looks like it's going to be a love reading. And I'm actually about to order another deck. It's a clarifier deck for card readings, and it's really cute. I just am not going to, I have a thing for decks, and I need to be careful with my spending right now because I mentioned I'm moving and it's not a cheap time to be living in the US. It's expensive. Housing costs are not for the middle class anymore. And so I'm moving with something of a down payment that I was hoping I was going to be able to buy, and we'll see because it's not a very big down payment and I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off. I never knew this, but once you're self-employed, that's another ding against you for getting financing, which I didn't know. I'm self-employed, so that puts me in a category of maybe not being an ideal person to receive a home loan. I hope that's not the case, but you know, these are the things that I'm facing in my life. So it's, you know, you spend money to make money when you're in business for yourself, and that's one of my next investments is this clarifying deck, because this is a part of my business I'm trying to grow the most. And so I'm excited to get that deck. It's cool and it's cute, and I think it's going to add some spice to my layouts at times, especially for love readings. So let's get into this. The first really significant thing is that we have the Sun card, the High Priest, and the High Priestess, and the Two of Cups. So there's a very, like, if you want to say divine union, this is it, because it's a High Priest and a High Priestess. So the esoteric world is a part of the union by nature. You're both healers. You're both very tapped in, right? You're both ready as well. You've both graduated to that type of level of understanding where you're a High Priest and a High Priestess. The Sun is what's coming. You're on the threshold. You're on the threshold, and with this Five of Pentacles, it's interesting because normally in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it shows a poor couple. Like, it doesn't have to be a romantic couple, just a poor dyad or two people standing outside of a cathedral. I've described that before in one of my last couple readings even. But with this High Priest and this High Priestess and the Sun card, this will be your cathedral. This is going to be your place of healing worship, whether it's a home that you make together, a place of meditation that you create together, right? It's a very divinely guided process, what's going on here. And instead of being afraid that you're going to be left out in the cold, like this couple is often shown outside the cathedral, they're about to be let in to the cathedral. This is you and this divine counterpart. You're both about to be stepping into your authority as a unit, as a couple in the heart center. It's very joyous times. The warm glow of inside the cathedral is represented by the sun card. Everything is coming for you, and you're standing right on the threshold, like you're about to step in. It could be considered like the Heiros Gamos, a divine wedding, with this Two of Wands being at the threshold of the, oh, I just got goosebumps. Okay, so it's something really beautiful here. I'm glad I'm doing this reading because I was preoccupied with the things that are annoying me, aggravating me, knowing that somebody came in here without my permission and is trying to mess with me by taking these studs. Like, what am I going to do? Nothing about that. And they know that, and I know that, right? But they want to exercise some measure of control over my psyche, and it's not going to work, right? Because I don't let that kind of thing consume me. I don't let that kind of thing rule me. I'm aggravated, but it's like, well, I'm going to keep living and keep on with my plan, which is to leave here within the next 3 months. So I don't need to get all caught up in a twist over that, right? This reading is major confirmation of that. Whatever stressors you might have going on, they're totally nothing compared to what's coming for you and what's already here. The High Priestess is in the facts position. If you're the divine feminine in this equation, you're already in your divine feminine status. There's justice coming for you. Your priest is coming. Your Hierophant is here. You are healers. Your strength is that you are both connected to your heart, and you're both connected to one another via the heart. So you might experience telepathy with this person. You might experience a lot of 5D communication. You might experience a lot of dream space encounters with them. I've had a dream encounter with someone in the past where I knew it was more than a dream. I knew that we were met in the dream space, right, in the astral plane. And it was really interesting. This was months ago now, but we were on the phone. I just was in the sleep state, and all of a sudden I'm in a dream and I'm on the phone with this person, right? And both parties on the phone, me and the other person, were so like happy and relieved to be on the phone with one another, but nobody was saying anything. It was just silence. We were just on the phone together in silence. And I knew in the dream that it wasn't my work to do. So even though I really wanted to be there, at some point I was like, well, I gotta go. I can't stay in this dream space forever. I have things I have to carry out in my life. And so I said, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get going, right? And then the person was like, wait, don't hang up. And so we stayed on the phone, but still neither one of us said anything. But the feeling of peace and comfort was just otherworldly that we both felt. You could feel that we were both feeling it. And then the person said, I'm going to be gone for 10 weeks. And I was like, what? 10 weeks? And then whatever. It's that kind of thing. Okay. I don't know why I told that story other than, I guess, just to illustrate that you're meeting this person likely in scenarios like that, where you're meeting in the dream space, or you're, seeing signs of them, you're having telepathic communication. It's all that stuff is very present in a connection like this, okay, especially with two esoteric practitioners like this. It's justice for you. It's love coming in. The devil on your shoulder wants you to be really careful. The devil on your shoulder is like, we're never going back to a place where our boundaries and our wisdom and our discernment weren't respected. The devil on your shoulder is really repping the Queen of Swords, and probably with good reason. Your shadow remembers things that maybe you would prefer to forget or go into denial about. Your shadow's not going to forget, and they're not going to let you forget. They're going to be right there saying, keep your boundaries up, keep your guard up, stay smart. You don't want to just fall into some trap based on some pretty words that don't go anywhere. You need real reality-based things that you can hang your hat on, right? That's what your shadow aspect is saying. And in your conscious mind, you also feel like you need to protect yourself and protect your stability. So as a high priestess in this equation, you might be feeling like, not anyone's just going to come in here and get right in with me anymore. I've seen enough. I've been through enough in my life. My guard is up, and it's with good reason. This is what this feminine energy is saying. You could also be the masculine, right? You could be saying this as the high priest. Either one, though, whoever this reading is for, There's a real effort here in both your shadow aspect and your conscious mind to protect yourself. You don't want to be messed with anymore. I'm telling you, this relationship is not that kind. Okay, this is like meeting your equal finally, right? After kissing a bunch of frogs, for example. So, but you're not messing around, and this is clear in this reading. You want a just connection, or you'd rather walk alone. Where things are headed is good news. There's a page of wands coming in. So this strikes me as good news about this relationship or about the connection. But let's just see. What's the page of wands here? What's the page of wands? Good news about the relationship, or what? What else should we know about this page of wands? What else is there to understand about it? It's all very positive, though. This is a very positive reading, even with you having your guard up, right? You need to know that this is very positive, very grounded, very healing, very hopeful layout. Okay, you're on the threshold. You probably sense that you're on the threshold of this new shift. Yeah, Four of Wands, completion. From Two of Wands to Four of Wands. This is very, very good news, okay? Very positive. In fact, I'm going to keep that Four of Wands out here. It's so beautiful. And it's also interesting, too, because it always reminds me of Ghost Pipe, the plant. This card looks exactly like Ghost Pipe. It's not Ghost Pipe. It's, in fact, what is it? When I look at it up close, I see I think it's like a golden idol of some type. Yeah. It's a staff, a royal Egyptian staff, possibly. Or it looks like it could also be... no, it looks African. It looks African. Part of me was like, this could also be Mayan, but it's not. It's just the way that the foreheads are a little bit at an angle. It strikes me as well as some Mayan iconography I've seen. But regardless, whenever I'm looking at it with soft focus, it looks like Ghost Pipe to me, which is a healing plant, right? A very unique healing plant. What else about this Page of Wands? The good news is coming about a King of Pentacles. It looks like a conflict is over. Yeah, two kings here. Wow, that's interesting. There actually might be two kings coming towards you for some reason that are in conflict with one another. A King of Pentacles and a King of Wands, which is very interesting. What does this have to do with the Page of Wands? Yeah, there's a conflict between these two kings. What do you need to understand about the conflict here? Because what's striking me is that you don't want to get embroiled in a conflict. It's a conflict between these two kings. What's the conflict here? It's two fives, the Five of Wands and the Five of Swords. What is the conflict? Oh, and the five echoed in the Hierophant, right? It's a masculine conflict. It might be a conflict between masculines who are both interested in you, possibly, or both want to be this Hierophant, right, in your life. These are flyers, so I'm going to go ahead and pull these. What does this mean? We've got the King of Wands twice now. Wow, so now we have 555. There's a lot that has happened to thwart this relationship, is what it's looking like, because we have the Hanged One here, the Devil, Strength, the Fool. There have been a lot of really powerful forces, honestly, working against this connection, and it might be one of these kings that's been vying for this relationship and trying to take the new beginning from somebody else with you. I don't know. It's like, is it an imposter king or what? Like, what else is what's the story here with these kings? What's this epic conflict that gave us, it's giving 5555, so change is imminent and it's inevitable. It's not going to be stopped. Whatever change is coming in your life. And in fact, it's not even, it's 5 fives. We've got 5 5 5. Wait a minute, where is it? 5 5 5, 5, and 5. We have 5 fives. So that's a big deal. Okay. There's a lot that has been, a lot of conflict swirling around this union of High Priest and Priestess is what I'm feeling intuitively. Like epic levels of conflict. You've really had to be strong through this. It's delayed your new beginning as a unit more than once. You've both had to be really strong. Someone might have been feeling persecuted or strung up or accused of something, and you've had to navigate that before this could even come. But the sun is here. Don't forget that, okay? This isn't something that's going to continue. In fact, the Page of Wands might be, you're going to hear the story finally and be told that it's over, but you're going to be told the story about what happened is possible. What else? Yeah, dark arrows, use caution, lower your profile with this Devil card. Be wise as the serpent and gentle as the dove. Find and be with your loyal and devoted community of support. Show up in boots, ruin a black tie affair. So you need not be intimidated by the whatever force has been working against you as a couple or as a femme, regardless, right? There have been a lot of dark arrows around this connection. It's the first thing that came out. Dark arrows, use caution, lower your profile. You don't want to be attracting a lot of attention to yourself. Or if you do come together into some kind of a union with this person, you're going to want to keep it quiet. You're going to want to keep it very low key. You're not going to want to be blasting it yet. Not that that won't come a time where you want to. Now is not the time, though, because there's a lot of interested parties, overly interested, over-invested in what's going on here, and overly invested in trying to prevent this from happening. It just is what it is. You're going to have to be wise as a serpent and gentle of the dove, and part of that is to lower your profile. Even if you're a showy person, if you're the King of Wands and you're coming in with the Page of Wands news, you might want to show that off. That's the kind of thing that wants to be on display. It's saying, no, find and be with your loyal and devoted community of support through this uncertain time. When the time comes, you can ruin a black tie affair and show up in boots, but it's not that to begin with, okay? You've got to show some discretion initially. What is some other advice? What's the circumstance here with these kings and this conflict? It's a lot of fives energy. I mean, you can't have any more fives. We got all the fives of the tarot here. But we've also got 2-2 here with the Two of Wands and the High Priestess. So this new beginning is not going to be stopped, okay? It's not going to happen. You're both bigger than whatever arrows have been directed in your way. What was the story with these kings and everything? Had to do with respect, work, money, home life. Someone was trying to cause, someone's going through a divorce. That's here. The ending of a coming together of a successful connection that was maybe made official through a court. Because this is breaking up or ending, this is the dark arrows that are coming at you, High Priestess. But you're a High Priestess, okay? So people that think that they're going to be sending you dark arrows, they're doing it to their own detriment, okay? It doesn't mean you need to go out and court the dark arrows, but it does mean that they're fools, okay? You're not going to be harmed. This is not going to be prevented, okay? But there's bitter tears here. And they're going to have to cry their bitter tears somewhere else because they were not able to end your money, your respect, and your home life coming into a peaceful, harmonized place as a couple. They tried it, but they haven't been successful. But it strikes me as like the tail of the scorpion is still present, okay? So just because they're failing, sometimes that'll be when, you know, if an animal is dying, they might get off one good last blow right before they go. So watch out for that. That's why you don't want to be getting ahead of yourself or bragging or gloating, right? Or these are the cards. Having more flyers than I'm used to, but I'm just going with that. What does this mean? Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm going to shuffle these because those are the cards that were in my... I want to just make sure. If they really meant to come out, they'll come out again. Those were the exact cards from my last reading, so I just want to make sure that I'm really shuffling these carefully. What else do you need to know about this situation that you need to watch out for? Or, you know, there's good news coming in, but you're maybe going to find out some information that you've not been privy to yet, or that you've suspected but that you haven't known for sure. But a Page of Wands is good news. It's not bad news, but you're going to be hearing about some of this distress is what I think. Trap, obsession, shock. Okay. Trap in the reverse. What's trap in the reverse? Trust your instincts. You know when something's wrong. Okay, so like I was saying about, I know someone came in here and took those earrings. I know it because I'm not crazy. This person may want me to think I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. I know that I'm not. I know I had those earrings. I know I had a set, 2 sets. I know where the one was when it went missing. I know where it was. I've looked literally everywhere they could be. They're not in here. They've been taken out of here by someone other than myself. So trust yourself. These dark arrows are real. You're not going crazy. Even if it seems like the 3D challenge is over, this person might still be sending you evil eye, right? Or dark arrows. That's like evil eye. So just watch out. Trust your instincts. That's accurate that that's happening. They're not going to win, but you need to take steps to, you know, make sure it can't do much damage, right? Obsession in the reverse. By the music of your design, this will be a triumph. So you're already moving out of something that was destructive, like the phantom's possessive control over the singer, right? The soprano, I can't think of her name in Phantom of the Opera, but because this is in the reverse, it's going to be a triumph. And that's here with the sun. This is an evenly matched relationship. It's not involving karmic control and manipulation and mind games and whatever. It's the opposite is what you're coming into. And then shock. What about shock? Don't let your guard down. So you still got a little bit of work left as this person tries to maybe send out one last blow against you as a couple or something, right? Don't let your guard down. While we generally consider ourselves to be playing the lead role in the film of our lives, we're also part of a much larger story in which others' actions may spin the narrative in unexpected directions. This can be a real shock, a violent shriek of the nerves. Things may change dramatically, especially when you least expect it. So just be ready, be on your guard, right? What else is important for you to know about this relationship, this High Priest and High Priestess relationship? What do you need to know about it? What do you need to know about this relationship? Only share about this with people you know support you. Lower your profile. Be wise and discerning. Stay on your guard. Your instincts are correct. You're not totally out of the woods yet. what was this other one? Yeah, be ready to roll when shit needs you to roll. Be ready to show up in boots if you need to protect yourself. What else should you know about this couple and this union? The deer and oat, the bobcat and blackthorn. Card 15. Rest and recharge. Moderation and mindfulness are key as you recover from trauma or a period of intense exertion. Okay. The shy and gentle fallow deer is known for its white spots and the broad velvety antlers it sheds and regrows each year. Similarly, oats are symbols of restorative nutrition. Even in poor soil, oats can flourish, providing hearty sustenance. This relationship is going to be a healing, restorative relationship for you. Moderation and mindfulness are key as you both recover from the trauma and the strength you've had to show to bring this into an alignment to come together. It's been work on both ends. You're both going to need to rest as a couple, and you're going to have that. But there's a lot of change and moving parts are still in play. Lots of fives, but there's good news coming. This is reason to celebrate. Okay, don't be discouraged by these challenges and conflicts. They're not a match for you. You just need to know that they're present. Bobcat and blackthorn. Blackthorn is one of the most protective plants out there. Stillness and quiet is what I'm guessing, and protection are what you need. But let's see here. You have acted too hastily and are in over your head. Notice what preparations might have served you and plan more carefully in the future. So there's going to be, this person coming in with this news might be acting a little bit prematurely. And in fact, it's important to know if you're wanting to rush forward with some news, there's still conflict present. It's the kind of thing where you might get followed. Okay, if you're rushing to someone to be like, we did it, we succeeded, let's go, let's catch our flight and get out of here. Someone's followed you, right? So there's an importance about not being too hasty. That's important to know. Like, this person might want to shout from the rooftops that they're leaving an old life to be with you, but not everybody's going to be happy about that. And there's people that still have power or something to say about it that might cause problems, right? What else? What else about this Page of Swords, or sorry, Page of Wands? It's going to be work. Imagine what you want, which strikes me as, let's just see what it says here. Nothing is as important right now as just doing what you need to day to day. Let your heart remember that not everything has to be hard-won, passionate, or even obviously meaningful. Relationships and friendships go through lulls where everyday tasks are at the center of awareness. That is perfect right now, especially with dark arrows and everything. Big, bold gestures are not the way to go in the relationship just yet, which is frustrating, I know, but hold hands, wash dishes, make a fire, read a book, share a meal, say nothing. Stare into space, pick up socks, tell a dumb joke, and leave space to breathe. The work of your relationship right now is very simple. It's just to be present. Funny how it takes work to just be. All is well. So that's it. You don't need to do grand gestures. The Page of Wands might be encouraging that with the two kings present, wanting to get into it and have some sort of battle over this dynamic or triangle. 20. Card 20, imagine. In matters of the heart, it's easy to daydream about another as a means of connecting to that person. While that's romantic, if you want this relationship to be real, you need to go for it, not just dream about it. Now is the time to move beyond the daydream and into reality, beyond illusion and into fruition. Relationships are about relating. So step out onto the dance floor where imagination partners with manifestation. The message of this card is that a person with attributes you have imagined will enter your life. You'll be changed for the better. Imagine that. So that's all very positive. It's a little bit of a mixed message. There's a little bit of warning to stay low key, stay humble, lower your profile. It's not a time to go blasting about this relationship, but it is okay to be excited about it and hopeful and prepared and ready, right? With discernment and with wisdom. You just need to be careful. So I'm going to pull just some final, what's a final message here for where the energy is headed with this Page of Wands? There's a lot of really positive information here. What's a final message for you in the High Priestess position here? Confusion. Card 36. Growth hurts, heals, and harnesses a way through the uncertainty. At some point, we all encounter feeling at a loss as to what to do next. Our mind can become as conflicted as the advice we receive. Our emotions can polarize and overwhelm us to the point of distress, especially when the stakes seem too high to risk making a mistake. Our belief that there is a right choice or answer that will prevent all that we fear from happening can be paralyzing. Fear has the power to stop us in our tracks, especially when what seems logically right is at odds with what feels emotionally safe. For example, one choice might seem to guarantee safety and security, but feel uncomfortably compromising. In a state of distress, it's hard to get clear on what our spirit self is guiding us to do. We may feel helpless and without any available choice that feels authentic. And that kind of speaks to this conflict that's showing even in the cards here, about being careful, lower your profile, be cautious, and then opposite of show up in boots, ruin a backside affair, right? Like that's a little bit of a conflicting message. What is best and truly possible for us is rarely as clear as the hindsight reveals it to be. When we need clarity the most, it would be helpful to remember that recognizing that we do not know what to do is a necessary step in the process of realizing what to do. Acknowledging the not knowing is the way to figure out the next authentic move in navigating a way through any bewildering predicament. And all these fives can definitely have a bewildering influence, right? A solution is not found in making one right decision, but rather the result of many small and consistent choices. Chop wood, right? Do the small day-to-day tasks in coming together. You can still come together, but it's not with a big showy proposal on the big screen in front at a hockey game or something, right? This is because significant problems are born of a web of threads that are not quite right for us. It requires us to dismantle, clear, and replace each thread one by one with a new right one for us. This process of dismantling, clearing, and replacing is what significant and sustainable change and clarity are. We create our solutions cumulatively by simplifying the complexity, removing it, and deliberately choosing something else. Clarity often comes at the cost of making at least one mistake, wrong turn, or failure along the way. And it mentioned that there was a mistake made in that Blackthorn and Bobcat card. For most, it takes making many. This is how we typically learn our way forward. Mistakes are preferable to remaining on the ground defeated. Failures are gifts, lanterns, if you will, illuminating our true direction. We need to know better to see and do better. That is why every perceived error is actually part of what is a correct step forward in your direction. It shows you your true way. Trust yourself. For any current confusion you are facing, place the hand that you write with on your heart and receive what knowing arises in you to do next. If part of this knowing is to seek the advice, support, or assistance of an appropriate other, do so. This crone supports you in committing to taking one small step at a time on your terms and at your own pace as you enter into ever increasing clarity and confidence. All right, well, I'm going to pull maybe some tiles now to see if anything shows up for us. About the situation, because there's some warnings. As much as it's a positive reading, there's definitely warnings as well. So it's not simple. It's a complex dynamic that we're experiencing for this High Priest and High Priestess to come together. There's a dynamic in play that's complex and that needs and requires discernment. So I'm just cleaning this up a little bit, and then so I can pull some tiles here. What else is to be understood about this, or maybe some names? What's important to understand about this conflict, or these 5 5s? It's important that you continue to take steps towards each other, even if they're not big, grandiose, declaring your love for all to hear. Taking practical steps is appropriate. Sharing with people that you trust only and feel are truly loyal to you, not backbiters or backstabbers, or people preying on your downfall, right? Even people you sense might be a little bit envious or jealous or have a hard time being happy for you, I wouldn't even confide in them, right? It needs your protection and discretion and discernment. Girls, I'm seeing mean girls, so that might be, there might be a group of mean girls. That's going to mean something to someone. Dream. So we talked about connecting with someone in the dream space. That might be happening. Year. In real life. Year. Mid-year. Mid-year might have meaning for someone, which is usually July and August. Yeah. So it's coming up, July or August might have meaning for someone. Curls. Someone has curls. Dish. Smear. This might have to do with that Mean Girls smear. Someone might have been smearing somebody here. It could have been a group of mean girls. Do it yourself might have meaning for someone. Someone might be a do-it-yourselfer. Jury. Jury might have meaning for someone. There was a court situation here. Someone might be caught up in some kind of a legal case. The IRS is here. It could have to do with taxes or some type of ownership of property. There might be a child involved in this court dispute. There might be a custody battle going. And that's why it's important to keep a low profile, especially if you're concerned about being awarded custody. You don't want to be out there doing wild things for someone to go in and give testimony about. There's a judge involved, for sure. Someone's definitely in the middle of a legal situation. Mars. Someone's Mars placement might have meaning here. Chi is both a name and means our life force energy. Riyadh. Someone might be interested in travel, like in Morocco, in the Riyadh. That's a name for, I believe, neighborhood. Someone might be LDS here. That's Mormon. Quiche. Someone might be from Central America. Daria. Someone's name might be Daria. Dire, like a dire wolf. Might have meaning to someone. Diary. Someone's diary might be in play here. If we're talking about those mean girls, that seems to be connected for some reason, I'm feeling. Ire, like anger. Liar. Someone's been dealing with some deception. Chilango, somebody might be from Mexico City. That's a word that references people from DF. Rides. Side. RISD, Rhode Island School of Design. Ria, someone's name might be Ria. Chile, someone might be from Chile. We have gay here. That could be somebody's name, or somebody might be part of the queer community. Leah. This might be somebody's name, Leah. Rig. Did I say jail already? I mean, we've had a lot of court and judge. Someone might be going to jail. If I haven't said that already, jail is here. Rage. I'm not seeing a ton of names. Gary. He. Hyde. Hildy. Hilda. Ryder. Rag. I think that's it. So I guess I'll just pull one final card. What's a final takeaway for you about this reading here? There's reason to be hopeful, but there's also reason to be careful. You're not out of the woods yet. I see Michelle in here as well. The name Michelle. Jim. Shady. Slim is also here. Slim Shady. So Eminem might have meaning, or that song might have meaning for someone here in this equation. Faith. And the angel said unto her, thou shalt give birth to the son. So the sun card is here twice now. So that's the important takeaway. There's reason to be cautious here and not go blasting your plans everywhere. But you need to have faith that this is something really beautiful emerging in your life, and don't get hung up on the challenges or the problems. Just take the steps that you need to take as a couple in order to chop wood through these changes, because you've got a lot of eyes on this relationship and a lot of strong opinions, but those don't matter. You just need to know you're not immune to it, though, I guess is what it's saying. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for being here.